Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday. It's July 15th, 2024. Hope you had a great weekend and you're having an awesome week so far. Want to get right into it. Don't forget to take advantage of the 11/11 summer soul sale. In the description box below are the details. And yeah. All right, let's see. One more cut. I'm gonna jump right on in. King of Wands. King of Wands, confident, courageous, bold, ambitious, driven, protective. Did I say creative? Creative. What you looking at? Whoa. The King of Wands, then also powerful if I didn't say that. The King of Wands blowing some shit up. Is that what's going on, King of Wands? Oh, wow. Interesting. The King of Wands is maybe creating tower moments. Bringing endings to things that are out of alignment. Could even be for himself, honestly, is what I'm feeling. Yeah, with the 9 of Cups here, and more or less making a great escape. So blowing up perhaps some type of karmic cycles or experiences or relationships, something karmic here with the Tower card, some dynamics that are no longer fulfilling, and making a great escape from the rubble, or perhaps his departure from these situations or circumstances. It is what causes a great disturbance, even a disruption, maybe an eruption. But it's for the purposes of stealing away, escaping to peace, and maybe even to heal. For ultimate wish fulfillment with the 9 of Cups. Ooh, and here's the Queen of Wands, and you know I got to put her on the board just because. Wow, and the 10 of... Okay, what the heck? I don't even think I can fit them all the way across. Wow, so the King of Cups, I'm sorry, not the King of Cups, the King of Wands was willing to kind of like blow some shit up. It could have been expectations on him. It could even be a relationship dynamic or something that may be dependent upon his presence. To escape it, to find peace and healing and balance on account of perhaps whatever casualty he may have incurred to escape this disruption. But whatever it is, now finding himself at the 9 of Cups, and then here we have the Queen of Wands. So it's given that somebody may have been willing to take a great leap even a high risk of a chance, you know, of a like a high risk maneuver of sorts. I don't even know what to call it, but whatever it is, it could have been dangerous. I heard that horn beep twice, confirmation. It was something that had a high level of danger associated with it, or whatever he had to do to alleviate himself or escape this casualty was dangerous. But it's the King of Wands, so it's like, what is danger really to the courageous King of Wands? Whatever it was worth going through to get to what a divine counterpart here, or I'll say a creative match, because I can't really call it divine, even though, you know, we have counterparts here with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I can say it's divine, but I mean, especially with the Ten of Cups here, it's definitely something highly fulfilling and of high quality and of spiritual essence. But at best, or I should say at least, it's a passionate match, a pure match, an alignment of energies with a high potential for productivity, because that's just what the Queen and King of Wands give: creativity, productivity, both courageous and bold and ambitious, one in the more aggressive or proactive sense, and then of course the other in the more receptive and I guess we can say passive sense, but you know, it depends on what type of Queen of Wands we talking about. But certainly if we're talking about counterparts that are operating in their innate frequency, there's a balance, because one doesn't necessarily have to overpower the other. They can, you know, just as sure as the Ten of Cups, work in a harmonious blend of creativity, where one is strong, the other one may be more deficient, and vice versa. Or they may be both incredibly strong in one regard, but it not being, you know, like a conflict or contention. There still being a balance even with all of this power. Interesting. With the Ten of Cups. Whatever someone sacrificed to get through and to a destination has paid off, or it will pay off in dividends, because what they aspired would ultimately give them wish fulfillment at the Nine of Cups has now advanced to the 10. Perhaps where both are exceedingly pleased with the outcome and with the connection of their energies finally, through what seems to have been a great deal of trial and tribulation, to say the least. All right, let's see what we got here. Woo. And I'm hot. Appropriately so. Let's go I was gonna say, let's go back to the Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Yeah, this is that aggression here. Let's double up. So the King of Wands was in, it's like as soon as he got his marching orders, you know, and this is why it's the Seven of Swords, where it almost seems like he like made a great escape or kind of got out in the nick of time or something like that, like something real Houdini-like is what I'm sensing, which definitely gives way to this hangman energy here where he's hanging upside down. Maybe he appeared to be stuck in some capacity. And as I said, it was a great a high level of difficulty or danger, this stunt that he had to pull in order to get to where he get out and get where he wanted to go. So he kind of like is almost in the hangman, appearing to be stuck or appearing to be in trouble, and may have been just awaiting the perfect moment to make a move, to forge the attack, or to just escape. Maybe he wasn't the aggressor. But again, as I said, him leaving is what caused a great deal of disruption, which is why at some point he perhaps felt a bit stuck, or maybe whatever the codependency could have been on his presence could have felt like a cage to some degree. Very captivating. I get the sense that it was some type of illusion though that was played into with the hangman, like appearing to be something that he really wasn't. Because if it came out as the King of Wands to start, to appear as though you're the hangman, like you don't know what to do next, you're not sure of yourself, you're waiting on some relief or waiting on some understanding, some enlightenment, to breaking out to the Knight of Swords. I mean, that's fast, furious transportation without a second thought, really. Well, I can't say that because the swords are thinking energy, so it could be very well strategized movement, but the action of it was quick and sudden. That's what it is. Maybe something that whomever was idolizing him at this point never would have seen coming or wouldn't have expected of him. What is this? Ooh, and the Sun card. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like he was waiting on the signal from the divine, like, now. It's something about timing here and everything kind of being very, very strategic, very careful, very intentional, almost sneaky, but cunning. I don't get the typical energy from the Seven of Swords that I usually do, which is like, you know, something deceptive in a diabolical sense. This is like discretion. Yeah. Discretion. Because discretion was key in order to escape whatever this eruption was. What's on this tower? it was just a normal day in the neighborhood with the Nine of Pentacles, but that usually is single, self-sufficient, you know, stable, secure. So this is what would, okay. So, but see, all right, how can I say this? It's like this is what was affected in the disruption, like everybody's pleasant day, you know, where they felt safe and secure. But it feels like, let me see what's on the bottom. Yeah, exactly. It feels like although this is self-sufficient, secure, as this message is forming, it feels like people felt safe, sufficient, you know, secure, stable on account of their dependency on this person, or on, it's even could be like just one relationship. Like this could be that feminine in this connection here, where the King of Wands maybe unexpectedly broke something off with someone, or broke themselves out of a commitment. And it wasn't just a like, you know what, I don't think this is working. It's like, this isn't working. I don't want to be with you anymore, and I'm leaving today. Like, no time to consider, no time to like settle with the reality. It's like everything is packed and I'm leaving. I mean, I dare not say that they actually just left. And left something like, you know, just literally like a thief in the night left without a trace. I don't know, but there's, whatever it was, this energy here at the Nine of Pentacles seems to be sound and satisfied in her energy, except what I feel is that it's not on account of her own self-sufficiency. It's on account of this Three of Pentacles energy, where it was much more it was sufficient as long as it could be dependent on whomever this energy is that has now ultimately excused himself. I was going to say relieved himself, but both, I guess, I suppose. Excused himself and relieved himself from this dynamic. And hell, it could have been a third party situation. Because there's two people on this card, but there's one person here. There's the feminine energy here. Then you got the Swords and the Hangman. I don't know, something weird. Hold on. The feminine energy seems to stand to be at the greatest disadvantage, whatever that means. But there could be an extra energy here as well in the mix. What's on the bottom? Yeah, with the Six of Pentacles, and this is what I'm saying. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. It's like this person was giving to either two other people, or it could be more. It could be multiple people. It could be more than two people, but someone was almost like the provider or the benefactor. There's some way that this person's energy, time, wealth, resources are benefiting others in a very imbalanced way. Again, this should be equal give and take, but what I'm picking up, it's not. It's not equal give and take, because if it was, then there wouldn't be such a disruption to the dynamic on account of one person leaving. Somebody wouldn't have to plan a great escape out of something if there was a balanced dynamic between all parties. You know, everything was fair and shared equally, but it's like somebody knows that when they remove themselves from, or if they remove, or as they have removed, however this resonates, have removed themselves from this imbalance, some people are going to be disadvantaged by it, and also are going to be disturbed by it, to the point of perhaps what this whole idea of it being a high level of a high risk situation is what I probably really want to say, like a high risk situation to get out, because of what certain individuals are so dependent on, perhaps even survival, or their livelihood in some way, shape, or form depends on someone. And to rip that carpet from under them could definitely cause a tower. Let's see what else we got. Damn. Oh, heck no. Like, hold up. Now we got the Five of Swords? Or this could be what the Great Escape was from, though. This is the threat that someone feels could be, you know, a response or a retaliation. The minute somebody says I'm leaving or does leave, that this would be the reaction for somebody to go into Five of Swords, which is why they felt they needed to sneak away. Yeah, because they don't have much. Here, look at this. Ace of Pentacles, to leave somebody with nothing, or to start over, more or less. Not nothing, but to go from the Six of Pentacles, where, you know, if I eat, you eat type of thing, where now the situation is that everybody, you know, every man for himself. Not even a Three of Pentacles, where at least we have each other to depend on, to all figure out a way to eat together. This is like, Page of Pentacles is like you on your own. Damn. Wow, the Emperor. Damn. Oh no. Somebody ain't leaving a kid behind, is they? That ain't no laughing matter, but the Emperor is a daddy. The Page of Pentacles can be a child. Somebody leaving somebody escaping their responsibilities. That's why I said, like, I hope it's not a matter of somebody leaving like a thief in the night, because that doesn't bring closure. And no wonder you would face the Five of Swords at some point on your exit, because at that point you would kind of have brought it on yourself, you know, not to fully close a cycle or bring closure to something that, for all intents and purposes, is your responsibility. If we're talking about it in that regard with the Emperor here, this is something you are accountable for. Unless somebody found out that the baby isn't theirs with this Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords, that they don't have that responsibility justifiably, that there's been some okay, maybe that could be with the the third party situation is about. Like maybe somebody's found out that they were one in a number, and the responsibility that they have been assuming for some time is not actually theirs. Now, in that case, you might have a little bit more leverage to route up out of there, especially if you were lied to or misled in some deceptive and vindictive way. But still, even with that, you got to be careful how you end things, how you close things, because you, like I said, you could just be keeping an open-ended karmic cycle for yourself that will eventually follow you wherever wherever it is you go to next. And then it'll be kind of like, well, what was the point of the escape if you still brought all the danger with you anyway? But then, things are crazy out here, so you never know why people feel they need to do what they need to do, especially if it's on account of protecting your peace. Maybe you're actually maintaining some safety and security. It's a lot of crazy things out here, but accountability is key, though. Because even though you may be justified to move a certain type of way, it still may not work out well for you in the long run. In a case like that, it's like, well, maybe you have the right to just leave without a trace. But I don't know. And perhaps if you were to speak your mind or say what you needed to say, you would still be met with a certain level of resistance and aggression, perhaps. But I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough one. This is a weird one. Let's see what's under this Four of Swords. What's this rest and rejuvenation? Like somebody recovering from something. The Three of Pentacles. Yeah, another third party situation. And what? With the Eight of Swords. What is that about? The Three of Cups is like a celebration, maybe even like a reunion. But then the Eight of Swords is like spiritual imprisonment. So yeah, to me it's given like someone. It's kind of what I was saying, which I'm trying not to like necessarily pass judgment on what should or shouldn't be, because like I said, I don't know what somebody may feel they need to do to protect themselves, if that is the case, especially when the impending danger is the Tower, and we got the Five of Swords, and it's a lot going on here. But with the Three of Cups, it feels like this is something that someone could have once been a willing participant in, whether it was a third-party situation or, like I said, they voluntarily wanted to be a part of this relational dynamic, and then perhaps maybe it just stopped being fun or stopped being productive or stopped being beneficial in some way. And now they want to retire from it, like literally like be let go, you know what I mean? Or be released from this connection. But the Eight of Swords, I can't really tell. I feel like that's what they leave behind. Is like something is being bound here on account of this person leaving. Like they can't, well, I guess that makes sense, right? Because the party can't They can't keep toasting to the good life if, you know, the benefactor is out of the picture, the one that is funding the fun, whatever that is no longer here, or at least no longer willing to contribute. That could be it too, where they're no longer willing to contribute to things the way that they were, even if they didn't route out, which I think they actually did or are planning to, but they've been reserved about their investment or about their contribution to what once was a collective experience. Like the one that was always getting the bottles or getting the weed or whatever the party favor of choice may have been, or the one paying for the table at the club or paying for dinner, or whatever, like whatever was, you know, it was all on him, all on me type of energy until it wasn't. And now this is, you know, people can't fend for themselves. They can't take care of themselves, I suppose. They can't move and shake like they used to. What's on the bottom? Chariot card, what was that? The Lovers. Yeah, and then the Lovers again. Like, this is something with intimate partners, I feel. I feel like it is, or maybe business partners, but I feel like there was a friends with benefits type of, either something taboo and more of like the poly type of frequency, or it was a group of it is or was a group of friends that kind of were entangled in intimate ways, but more or less for professional or creative purposes. And if this, I mean, I gotta say it how I can sense it. If this is a matter of it being like mystical collusion, someone who has a great deal of power and influence no longer wants to contribute to the practice or to the rituals or to whatever it is that's being done. And it's like, oh, okay, power 3. So if one person backs out, then that leaves the, you know, the work to kind of flop. If it was contingent upon each person's energy pool, you know, and what everyone was investing into this arrangement. It could be something like that, Lord Jesus, that it can't move forward productively and successfully because there's a spiritual binding here. Or somebody decided to take their power elsewhere, knowing what disruption and disturbance it would cause or how it would debilitate the practice. And that's why it was such a high level of difficulty and threat, because there's an anticipation for a return on this collusion with the 3 of Pentacles here, and the 6 of Pentacles. There's an expectation for a return on their collaborative effort. So if you don't bring what you have, what you ultimately have promised or been, like I said, there was a responsibility or accountability to be invested into this, like you bring the chicken feet, I bring the voodoo dolls, she bring the I don't know, the freaking goat's blood or whatever the hell people is out here doing, you know. And of course I'm being ridiculous, but am I, is the question. Whatever it is, everybody had an assignment, you know. They had an assignment, and if one person decides to pull out for whatever reason, it could even be on account of fear, which is kind of strange to me. It doesn't really feel like that, especially when we're talking about the King of Wands. So that's why I feel like there was like an intentional, maybe even passive aggressive attack, knowing that when he left, this is what would happen. Everything would kind of falter. But that being the motivation to go. And this could also be the Chariot, could be police. So there could be some eyes on this, or a fear, that could be the fear of eyes on this, that would cause someone to want to now eliminate themselves from the equation, maybe before the Tower truly hits. I don't know. Let's see. What's this Nine of Cups? Almost pretty much in a struggle, but almost in reverse. Two of Swords, crossroads. Yeah, like somebody being blocked, or at a stalemate, a standstill to make a decision, indecisive, or indifferent. What's this? Oh wow, more imbalance and indecision. What the heck? Hold up, I need to think for a second. Let me see the bottom. On a new beginning, on moving ahead into something new. So maybe the feminine energy is blocked, or this could, again, like it's still giving threes. It's still giving threes, or feminine, masculine energy, and then the antagonist, so to speak, or maybe the protagonist. I don't know, and it depends on how you look at it, I suppose. But the catalyst for this this eruption. So somebody's at a crossroads. Someone else is out of balance and insecure. Could be materially or energetically. It's like they can't do whatever it is, they can't do anything without this other person. And now it seems like either this is that person long gone off to a clean slate, or at least they feel they are off to a fresh start, or this is where they are in terms of finding their way to a new beginning, like really kind of like stuck. Don't have the intellect, the wits, the courage, the resources, the stability. Damn, he really left somebody in a mess. Or some people in a mess, in a bind, a real bind, literally, spiritually, and perhaps materially bound, maybe in debt, with no income, no plan on what to do next. No little no nugget, no token, of appreciation to leave behind. Like, well, here you go. No parting gift. It's like somebody said, I'm out, and I just as sure as this 0 is here on this full card, they didn't leave a crumb behind. One more on this Queen of Wands. Because they over here spying on how to get over to this Queen of Wands. That's their main objective now. But I'm curious as to, let me see what's on the bottom. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it ain't really looking good for that reception to be in the 9 of Wands. Like, cause what did I say? When you leave unfinished business in your wake, it eventually will catch up to you some type of way. So it's somebody that could have made a hasty and, cunning decision to leave something that perhaps for all intents and purposes was expired. Certainly not high vibrational or serving them in the purpose in which they desired to be served any longer, even though it seems like once upon a time it was just fine for them with the 3 of Cups. Like they were enjoying the party, they were enjoying the festivities, even as they were may have been funding the festivities. It was suitable enough for them at a time where they desired to be present. But at some point, somebody had a change of mind, figured a way out of, or is trying to figure a way out of a very sticky situation, and a major entanglement of the worst kind, because it doesn't seem like it's just one-to-one, like in a relationship, like I just want to leave you. It's like there are other things involved now, maybe other assets, other people. They're more, it's a greater responsibility at risk here, or in threat here, to be abandoned. But it's, for whatever reason, it's worth it enough for somebody to take that chance. But here, like, their eyes are on the prize with the Page of Swords, but the energy is the 9 of Wands. And it's given that, what it feels like is that at some point in time, the King of Wands may have been an ideal match and an ideal alignment to some degree with the Queen of Wands. But so much has transpired in between, like all of this of their travels, that now they're much less of a man than they were when they started, or that they were on track to be. That's what I'm getting. So the Queen of Wands here, I don't really get is someone that is going to accept all of this baggage in tow. That's not the type of energy that would, if the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Wands in her own right, like organically, authentically, she over here chilling. It's the energy of the King of Wands that seems to have transformed, and not so much for the better. Not really. It's like they have an ideal of what would bring them wish fulfillment, but would they be wish fulfillment for the Queen of Wands? In the 9 of Wands, in the 9 of Cups, I'm saying, but would they be the Queen of Wands wish fulfillment? In the 9 of Wands, I don't think so. This is somebody that still has to learn how to take accountability and responsibility for their actions. And threat or no threat, they've already left a mess undone, which is why they're carrying that baggage in tow in the first place. So I don't think so. It's like somebody may have done a great deal to break away from something to get to something else or someone else. You know, like I said, a karmic connection over here that's finally run its course, and now they want to get to where, you know, they probably should have been all along, more or less, with their true counterpart, but they got some healing and some reckoning to do, it seems to me. And I tried to give as much of the benefit of the doubt as the cards would allow, but when it comes down to it, to end that line in the Nine of Wands, that's a lot. That's a lot of someone has become a casualty of their own creativity in that regard. And they haven't quite rebounded or recovered from it enough to be available truly to be someone's divine match or even creative partner. They got to get themselves together. Do I want to end it here? I kind of do, to be honest, because I'm hot and yeah, with the moon card, and look, yeah, they're trying to stand their ground, fight for their right to party. But it's the moon card, though. There's too much obscurity, and someone might even still be carrying some baggage of fear, like I said, on account of what they're having to protect themselves from what they didn't settle, from what's still open-ended. Was this mysticism here, as I said earlier, that kind of definitely affirms that aspect of the story, that there could have been some underworld energy going on here, that somebody saw the error of their ways and just doesn't want to do anymore because they don't reap the benefits of it as they once did. But you still gonna have to answer to your actions before you just cut yourself loose, or even as you cut yourself loose, because that's great, kudos to that. But like I said, it's about how you do things, and you could separate yourself and still be just as attached as you were when you were still there if you don't really close that cycle. And here's the Emperor again. Damn, how did the Emperor come up last time? What card was that? Damn, I wish, hold on. Let me try to remember, because the Emperor came up at the bottom after another card. Damn, I can't remember. But it was in the capacity of, here with the Page of Pentacles, about avoiding or averting, I think it's more avoiding your responsibilities. That's what it came up as. Someone wanting to be absolved of the responsibility that they have incurred justifiably. And I spoke of it on account of maybe it's like perhaps maybe somebody, was a child, and maybe somebody found out that they weren't responsible, or that wasn't their kid or whatever. But I think it could be that for sure. There could be multiple things here, but I feel like it's somebody more so now, looking at the whole picture, is someone that created something in some relational dynamic that it's of their loins, their energetic loins, just as much as it is the mother, the other brother, or whomever is all engaged in this fiasco. It's like there was something created and established between them, And now that someone wants to be able to pull all of their power out of it, it's like they want to kind of like erase or like completely absolve themselves of any connection to it whatsoever, let alone any responsibility or accountability to it or for it. And it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. And perhaps even wanting it to be concealed how they may or may not have been involved as well, which is the energy that they may be coming through with deceptively now, looking back at it all, where they want to escape this, but also somehow want to keep their hands clean as well. And it's just virtually impossible to be able to do that, because here it is right here. Everything that you left behind still coming back to haunt you. Your secrets, your, whatever freaky nature somebody was in. They want to be able to take control over this exposure, because the Sun card did come out at first too, right? Yeah. They want to be able to control this exposure, or control their, maybe regain control or take their power back, which again, kudos. But it's just not it doesn't happen just by way of saying, oh, that wasn't me, like Shaggy, it wasn't me, or I'm not associated with that, I'm no longer affiliated with it. I mean, hopefully you aren't, if it was diabolical or detrimental to your well-being, but you still gotta, I don't know, it's like somebody just wants to erase the past and move forward like nothing happened. That's what they would like to do if they could. And someone or something of their past is not willing to make that easy, to say the least. They will have to fight to the death before they are fully, look at this, where I'm putting it, with the, especially if somebody is bitter on account of how they were left, disadvantaged, disenfranchised, whatever, deceived, whatever the case may be. Someone may now justifiably have reason to attack, whether they actually, naturally do or not. They at least may believe that they do. And so there again lies the necessity for defense and security that may have gone differently if someone would have just stood 10 toes down and said, look, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done. Y'all can say what you want, do what you want, feel how you want, but I'm leaving. It's given that somebody didn't really exercise their courage to do that for fear of retaliation. They embodied it though, they could have, but somehow they felt that the alternative would be to take, the more deceptive way out, to try to eliminate as much confrontation in that contact as possible. And ultimately, like I said, it will find you. Something with this moon, because we got the moon, which is like mother energy when you think about Cancer being ruled by the moon, and then the Emperor, like father. So it's still something here. It could really be about a kid. that somebody is denying paternity of, or they know they shouldn't have to take accountability for. Something with that here too. I can't help but see that for what it is. And it may be that someone perhaps is not the father of some offspring, but they still have entangled themselves by way of responsibility and by, making themselves more or less like the caregiver of some sort, a dependent, creating a dependency here in a space where, honestly, it was just karmic. There never should have been a dependency or a codependency. It's like one person might be freed up in one sense where you are not the father, but it ain't gonna stop the crazy ex or would-be baby mama from making her presence known just on the strength of feeling rejected, or feeling discarded. So, good luck, Chuck. And maybe they don't want to get a paternity test. Like somebody standing their ground here. Or it could, I don't know. It's something about paternity though. Or lack thereof. And it's interesting that the moon in the feminine energy is an element, not per se like the Empress or even the Queen of Cups or somebody like that. And it probably is because whomever it is possessed by their emotions and they've become unreasonable. That's why somebody's afraid for their damn life. That's why. Someone that's, to put it plainly, a bit of a lunatic. Well, I'm gonna leave that there. All right, yeah. And I keep getting drawn into it. There was something that somebody was supposed to do, either post this past new moon, or that someone has the expectation to participate in for this upcoming full moon, which makes sense with the moon card, and they're refusing to do so. They don't want to do so. And that's where the point of aggression is, because if they are unwilling and refusing to participate, it puts the whole operation out of order. And somebody is losing their mind because of what they expect to harvest from it, or what they anticipate is a potential to harvest, and the sheer possibility that they're looking at not being able to do that at all on account of someone's resistance. Somebody's emotionally way out of balance to the point where they may need to be restrained with the Eight of Swords, if not already, institutionalized one way or another, mentally or physically. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.